YouTube. But I want you to think about it before we jump into Twitter. I want you to think about it like hub and spokes. So you've got your blog in the middle. This orange button represents your blog. And the other four is where you catch people and bring them back to your blog. It's the sales funnel that you're building. And bottom line is, listen, driving traffic to your website is difficult. And it's expensive. Meanwhile, there's 200 million people on Facebook. So touch them there first. It's cheaper, it's faster, it's more effective, and build a little bit of trust, provide some value, demonstrate your expertise, and provide a link back to your blog. Right? Touch them on LinkedIn, on Twitter, link back to your blog. Touch them on all the rest of YouTube, go back to your blog. That's the funnel. Does that make sense? All right. So let's jump in. And we have an hour, right? And it's not a lot of time, so I'm going to kind of race through. But you'll have some ideas by the end, I promise, because there's some cool things that people are doing. But hopefully we've laid a little bit of a foundation. We can jump in and look at some examples. But there was a study done on Twitter just recently, and it's not the only one, but there's a lot of these things that are happening. It turns out that over 40%, like 40.5% of tweets are categorized as worthless babble, which is great news because it means it's really not that hard to stick out as providing value. I'm not kidding. I mean, seriously, look at this. There's like less than 9% of the tweets have passed line. Everyone's saying like, "Oh, I'm going for a taco." I mean, are you kidding? It's a joke. I mean, if you go on, and listen. I mean, who here thinks Twitter is kind of silly? Like, people who use Twitter are tweetable and they write tweets. Yes, there's a few, and it is a little silly and juvenile maybe, but it works. And I swear to God, it works. It's unbelievable how, for me, it has totally changed the game. But it's good to know that most people are not doing a good job on Twitter, because it means that if you do, I got 25,000 followers on Twitter. Who are these people? And I was just providing value and doing a series of tricks, and it just started to snowball. I get like 200 more a day. I mean, it's crazy. And most of them probably don't read my tweets. That's fine. Now, let's actually, I'll show you what I did. This is this is my book. And when I brought it out at the end of February, beginning of March, I summarized it into 300 marketing tips, right? Little tips, little juicy nuggets, little pieces of advice, okay? And then I published them as tweets. So in each case, it says tip, and then there's a little, this one says conversations are markets, participation plus facilitation equals opportunities. More tips at the website where you can get the book, right? I have 300 of these, and they're automated. They go out 4 times a day during the week, Monday to Thursday, and 3 times a day on Friday, Saturday. It's automated. While I'm here talking, it's happening on its own because I use a platform called Tweet Later. That's what it is. Guys, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying it is. It is. There's an opportunity. Something is happening. And some people hate what's going on. You can't believe anything you read online, whatever happened to academic journals, this, that. I get it. I understand that. But there's all these people doing things, and there's an opportunity to get business. So I did this, and along with a bunch of other things, and it worked. So I try things all the time.
Just interruption. How is this not distinguish between self-promotion and passing along information?
Well, okay, so this is a great question. So she said, what's the distinction between passing along value and blatant self-promotion? Right? Shameless self-promotion. It's a little bit of both. I mean, is what I'm doing on Twitter a little bit spammy? Yes. Yes. It is a little bit. It is, but here's the deal with Twitter. Twitter is like a huge river of all these tweets, 40% of which are pointless babble. And if you're interested, you can put your toe in the water and see what's going on. And if you're tired of it, you can take your toe back out and you won't know what's going on. The river's going to keep flowing. So this is a drip campaign for me. Now, I totally agree that you can't sit there and say, hey, buy my book. Here's the link. No one's going to click on that. But if I provide some value, some sort of a tip, if I demonstrate my expertise, if I show people that I actually know something, maybe someone's going to be like, huh, guy seems to know something, that's neat. That relates to my life, click, I want to learn more. Right? So, and I'm going to be pretty transparent, guys. I mean, I know that things are different today than they were 10 years ago. And I'll tell you where it's spammy and where it isn't. I don't think this is that bad, because I'm actually providing some value. But it's always a question of demonstrating your expertise, providing a link. Demonstrating your expertise, providing a link. This slide share thing, what do you think you're doing when you SEO? You're putting your website and you're trying to get it to rise up so you can demonstrate your expertise, and there's a link on Google because it shows up high on Google for them to learn more. People are searching for stuff. Yeah.
On Twitter, you're giving value in 140 characters.
Yes.
So that seems like a challenge in itself. Say a little bit more about how you take something that's longer than 140 characters and get people to follow through with it.
Yeah, so the whole thing is bite-sized, right? I mean, and it's going more and more this way, by the way. So the question was, how do you fit this into 140 characters? I'm willing to bet in 10 years there's going to be some other platform that's